Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you my thoughts on the potential changes for an upcoming patch. Now this was recently posted on Battle.net by Dustin Browder, and it goes over a lot of the balance issues that people have recently been talking about. First thing I wanted to take note in the developers corner 1v1 game balance is the number of times and the percentage that races are particularly played. Protoss, Terran, and Zerg. You can see that Protoss and Terran are about even, close to 38%, 38.5% for Protoss. Meanwhile, Zerg is abnormally low at 23.5%. This is not a shock to me because Zerg is perhaps one of the more difficult races to play in terms of macro. You really need to be able to use your queens very well, and even in the original StarCraft, Zerg was a little bit more difficult to use. Now, taking a look at the race versus race basis, a lot of people have been saying that Terran wins the majority of the time. And what I'm actually finding in this particular instance here, and just watching these numbers, is that Terran is not winning the majority of the time. First of all, Protoss, when fighting Terran, has a 49.6% win chance to beat Terran. That means Terran has a 50.4. That's within a pretty standard norm. Meanwhile, same thing when Protoss is fighting Zerg. Protoss has a 2.8% chance of beating Zerg. And then finally, Terran, when fighting Zerg, has a 49.6% chance to beat Zerg. That means Zerg has a 50.4% chance. So Zerg is slightly ahead of Terran in that aspect as well. So a lot of players who've been saying that Marauders are overpowered, the game's not fair, the game's not matched up well, the numbers are abnormally close together, but Protoss has a very, very difficult or a very, very easy time beating Zerg. And what I don't quite understand about that number is whether or not Mutalisk play is considered into this calculation. Mutalisk have a very, very easy time against Protoss as long as the Protoss player is unable to really land those Psystorms. But with these numbers, it does show us a lot. Also, if you look down at the remaining numbers, Terran is actually underpowered for all the other races. Protoss has a 56.3% chance of beating Terran in the Platinum Leagues, and then Terran has a 44.5% chance of beating Zerg in the Platinum League as well. So a lot of people who've been saying that Terran is overpowered, the numbers here are not showing that. But really, what I really wanted to talk about was the upcoming changes that they were discussing. First of all, they're going to increase the roach range from 3, perhaps to 4. And what that's going to really do for roaches, it's going to make them much, much more powerful. Now, with that roach range increase, I'm not sure, and it actually does justify their 2 food a little bit more, so I'm happy with this. Second, fungal growth now preventing blink will help fungal growth, stopping mass stalkers. If a unit is able to blink away using or if a stalker is able to blink away even when there's fungal growth, then it kind of neutralizes one of the main benefits of fungal growth. The third change is absolutely going to change the game in a very dramatic way. Barracks are going to require a supply depot, which will impact a lot of early Terran Reaper pushes. Now, the Reaper was already moved from 40 food to 45. Now, by requiring a supply depot first, what that's going to mean is that the Terran army only has 1 opening now. It's going to mean that they only have a 10 supply depot opening. Now, one of the benefits for Terran is that Terran can build buildings wherever they want without the need for a pylon and without the need for a creep. So Terran is really going to hurt in the early game by not being able to do any sort of proxy barracks unless there's a supply depot there as well, which really doesn't help out that much. Secondly, the Reaper speed upgrade will require a factory, which is going to stop a lot of that early Reaper harassment. I haven't found early Reapers to be all that effective anymore, as it's difficult to critically mass them now that they are taking 45 units of time. And other things to take a look at is that they're increasing the health to a number of Zerg buildings. And this I do agree with, because a lot of smart casting and the smart damage that comes into play with StarCraft 2. And as opposed to StarCraft 1, Zerg buildings have been very easy to take down with Marauders, with Marines, with range units in particular, as there's not as much overkill damage being used. So I do, in fact, agree with that, but really, I don't know if I agree with the Reaper change. Tell me what you guys think. I didn't think that Reapers were really being abused all that much. Let me know. Post your comments. Just post your comments and let me know what you guys think about this upcoming patch.